This is 99% craps.
Hard 10, hard 10. There's the number.
I'll take the full odds on the 10, 200 on the hard way. The limit on all the numbers, 250 on the 11. Thank you very much.
Say, you played this game before.
Just once.
Welcome to the Red Eye Gamblers podcast. High above the second largest city, west of the Mississippi. Two chronic craps players, talking craps, playing craps, thinking craps. This is 99% craps.
Coming up on 99% Craps, December gambling on the weekend in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday craps sessions. Playing mostly on the new Shoot to Win craps table. Trip reports, strategies played, casino restrictions. But first, weekend comps. Wednesday, December 16th, 2020, episode 27. The Red Eye Gamblers present 99% Craps. And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining. I am on another trip to Lake Charles, Louisiana. Do a little gambling on the weekend. Play some shoot to win craps. Been dreaming about playing on the shoot to win craps table. And I was able to get a comp weekend finally. So looking forward to spending the weekend in Lake Charles at the casino and getting into my routine. So so pretty excited, and I've been thinking about my money management, my strategy, the discipline I'm gonna need to play for 2 days on the weekend. I've concluded the last time I was here that I wasn't gonna play in the evenings, but late night and early morning and early afternoon, which I can easily get 8 hours in. And then I'm also by myself or, with less people, and that's the way I want it to be with COVID. And then also that'll allow me to roll more frequently, and so then I won't need to be there quite so long, so I can maybe do hour sessions at the table. I'm thinking about basically playing for a long period of time. So how am I going to do that? And what's my initial plays? What's the script I'm going to have when I first get there? And so I've already kind of figured that out. And going solo again, and I think that's just the way it's going to be for a while, which brought me to thinking about things you do when you're by yourself versus things you do when you're with your buddies, or with your partner, or with another person. When you're by yourself going to the casino, then you don't have to worry about anything other than yourself. So, one of those things is, when you're solo, it's really easy to play the don't.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Because, you don't want to bet against your buddy. You don't want to be playing the don't when you're playing with your buddies. I mean, then you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you're not all together. Typically, when you're out with your buddies or you're out with friends, you all want to roll, you all want to have a good time, you all want to be positive. You could turn and maybe play one or two bets and leave the table. I've always said, betting on the don't is a closing move too, where you can shut down everything. If you've been playing positive, and the table turns on you, make your last bet on the don't, win it, and then cash out. So, but I think, you know, being solo now and also playing 99% of my time on the shoot to win table, in which case I'm not dealing with a dealer. You know, I can bet any way I want, and I don't have to say it out loud, so people don't necessarily know unless they're watching the TV screen of a table and seeing, you know, your chips that are represented. But still, it's not like it used to be. It's not like, you know, being the black sheep at the table if you're the don't player. You know, a lot of playing the don't on a regular table is blending in and not sticking out. I mean, you don't want the whole table to turn on you and have, you know, blame you for their bad luck and you be winning. You know, you've done it before, but you'd rather not. I mean, I'd rather it be just a chill table. Well, that's what's happening with the shoot to win. Everybody's keeping to themselves, you know, so that way, you know, I can hop the sevens on somebody and nobody's going to, you know, bat an eye and give me a dirty look. I don't have to say anything to a dealer. You know, the dealer's not going to make a comment. You know, a lot of times the dealers will make a comment and call out your situation because they've got to say it out loud for the box man to hear. But it's also a little bit of shaming, a little public shaming going on. So yeah, so you avoid all of that with this shoot to win craps table of, you know, betting on a little computer terminal touchscreen thing, and then you can immediately turn things on and turn things off. You know, where before you'd have to get the dealer's attention, and then you'd most likely have to tip the dealer quite a bit in order for him to be doing all this special work for you. And you'd also want to be making sure it's worth your time, that you're making a good, you know, you can't do minimum bets across the board and turn them off and turn them on, you know, every other bet and not have the dealer give you a bad look or expect a tip. But those are all things you can do at the shoot to win craps table because it's like you're in the pool with no lifeguard. It's on you. You can drown yourself or you don't, but you can also just do anything in the pool. So yeah, I mean, it's so being solo playing don't is probably not a bad way to start, and then basically scout the table that way. You know, you kind of always want to scout the table, and the good thing with the shoot to win is it, you know, tracks the last 16 numbers rolled. So that's a good thing. And then, so yeah, you kind of want to just get a temperature for the table before you do anything. So I think if I play minimum bets on the don't,
Give yourself to the dark side.
when I first get there, you know, have the wait for the waitress to get around and get a beer, get settled in, you know, then maybe roll in about a half hour. You know, don't try rolling right away. You know, kind of get into your zone. I think that's it. Is really get in your zone, and I think it takes a few laps around the table. I mean, you can get lucky. I think you can get lucky and do real good right at the beginning, but I'd say you could do real well if you kind of just took your time, get acclimated to the table, get in the zone, and then go. You know, it's kind of like stretching. Kind of like stretching before you're getting ready to do an athletic event. You know, don't just go up there and sprint. You know, stretch out that groin a little bit. But yeah, so I've been thinking a lot about the shoot to win craps table. I've been really, really thinking about all the things that you could do on that that you wouldn't normally do on the regular table. And it's you can do crazy things. You can do crazy things, and you know, within 20 seconds. But I think you can take chances. I think you can do some probability bets. Like, you know, if somebody's on their third point or their 15th point, you know, their 15th roll, you know, I think there's better plays to play when you can see that someone's, you know, what someone's been doing. I don't know, the whole tracking of bets is kind of nice. Now the ATS not being on the table, I don't like that. I really wish the all tall small would be there, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. I just think I mean, maybe they could program it in there. I don't know how you make that request. Sorry, I'm not making enough money on the bet you have now. I'd like you to change it so there's a bet I could make more money on. Please. So, anyway, so the shoot to win table, because it's kind of incognito, you know, you're not calling out your bets. You're not really unless you pay attention to what other people are doing, you know, you're not really going to see people with their chips, you know, so that's kind of one of those things I was thinking about that's kind of bad, is before you can kind of keep track of your rolls with the chips in the rail. Well, now you don't have any chips in the rail, so now it's, you know, you need, I'm actually, this time I'm going to bring pen and paper to write things down, because I couldn't keep track of, you know, you track the rolls with the chips in front of you. And so you don't really do that with shoot to win. So I don't know, that's the thing, I haven't figured out how to keep track of that kind of stuff. I mean, I just said the tracking's on the screen, but you know how you, like, you win two, you know, you've won 2 bets, and so you've got 2 stacks of chips from those 2 wins. Well, all that money goes into your bank on the computer screen, and so it just shows that you've got a amount. In which case, I don't know that I mean, I knew how much money I had at the very beginning, but a lot of times you just play and you don't count your chips until you have to. You know, there's almost a little bit of karma going on with, you know, you don't want to count your chips at the table, right? And so now your chips are automatically counted. You never not know how much you have. So yeah. So I mean, you don't really see that. Oh yeah, I've won 5 times off this guy. I've won 4 times off this guy. You don't see that. So you got to figure out how to keep track of that part. That's what I'm going to try to do this time. So, but yeah. So then I was also thinking is, you know, I don't know that table karma is the same anymore. I don't know. I need to pay attention to how many long rolls. I've only really seen like 2 or 3 long rolls. I posted one that was like 51, and I think they went to 53. And then, you know, I've been around a couple of 30s. I think I rolled a 30 something. So we'll have to see how long the rolls are. I think that's what I'm going to do this time, is maybe document more of what's happening at the table, so that so I can figure that out. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I will keep track of my rolls. I'll try to do a better accounting. Well, and I guess that's kind of one of those things I need to do is, you know, if I'm going to go back to taking this seriously again, then I need to, you know, be treating it like a business, and so clocking in, clocking out, and keeping track of all that stuff. You know, I've been very lax on that. We've talked about this before. I was depending on my partner to help me out with that. Well, he's not here, so it's on me. So I think this is a nice. This will be a good break-in time. You know, see if I can actually do it. Do everything I've said. Actually do it, not just say it. So, you know, practice what you preach, right? So we'll see. But yeah, so the table karma thing, you know, I need to figure that out. I think I've figured a lot of other things out. I've got basically 4 strategies that I'm going to be, you know, mixing around. and start with one, and then depending on how well I'm doing, then go to number 2 or go to number 3. But I think a couple of the ideas I have are, if I'm playing on the don't,
You underestimate the power of the dark side.
then it's leave it out there till it gets picked off. I'm not gonna turn anything off. I'm not gonna if a don't come travels to a 6 or 8, I'm not gonna say no action. I'm gonna let it go. Even though historically that's the way I do it, but if you're gonna play the don't, embrace the don't.
Give yourself to the dark side.
And I think that's it. Is I need to be, being simple, keeping simplicity is a key. And I with all these hedges and all these complex, scenarios, I think that's okay. But I need to get back to basics. I think I need to get back to simplicity. So your straight don't bets, your straight DC bets, no odds, just kind of watching the table with on the don't side. If you get knocked off, then something's happening. If you start getting knocked off, then that means your 7's on the come out or first point is happening. Well, if they're on the first point, then what are you doing for the second point? When is the 7 due? 1 out of 6. That's when it's due, sir. 1 out of 6. But yeah, you can watch, and then you start watching the shooters. And then again, the table surface is so funky. It's intriguing. I want to figure it out. I want to figure out what's different or how different or there's no difference. Although I did hear something on another podcast that the cleaning of the dice is leaving residue on the dice, and so the dice are sticky. And I hadn't thought about that. I hadn't noticed it completely. They haven't stuck on me. I need to pay attention to if they're sticky or not, or if they're dry, or I know the surface is tacky. It's like a plastic. It's like it's a little clingy, but definitely more when it's plastic. But so I'm gonna pay attention to the dice a little more. Find a couple of different places to shoot from. And that's the other thing. I probably won't shoot for the first. Well, depends on who's at the table. If I'm the only one at the table, I don't have a choice, right? So I don't know. I guess I'm playing table minimum, until I see opportunities to go big. So we were talking about, whether you should basically same amount of money in 2 different kind of bets. How do you do it? If you wanted to do the Iron Cross, when, if you were doing $10, 4, 10, and 9, $10 field, $25 5, and then $30 6 and 8. That's $125. Well, or what about a $60 6 and 8? Which would you rather do? And then how long do you keep them up? One of those books, I think it's the Craps Guru, talks about playing the Iron Cross, and that their way of winning at it was to play for 2 hands and then turn it, or 2 rolls and then turn it off. In which case, I get it. You don't want to leave that money out to risk. It's $125 at risk if a 7 pops. The whole point is hopefully you can get 2 rolls before you roll a 7. So, but if you're doing the minimum, and a 3 or an 11 rolls, you're only winning $10 for that 125 at risk. Because you only got the $10 on the field, nothing else pays. If a 12 or 2 hits, you get double in the field, so that's 20. But then if a 4 hits, you get 10 from the field and then 18 from your 10. So now you're at 28. But then if you roll a 5, you win 35, but you lose 10 in the field, so you only win 25. And the same thing happens with the 6 and 8, you're only winning 25. So for that 125 at risk, the most you're really doing is 25, and $10 to $25 is the win. So, so it almost seems like, you need to bump that up. You can't, the minimum bet, you've got too much at risk for the amount you're making per roll. But, that's just one system. And I think, it all goes down to bankroll and bet size, and that's reduced all the way down to a minimum bet size. On the minimum on the field, and 4, 9, and 10. So, but that's the thing. You leave it out for 2 rolls, risk it that much, or would you rather put a $60 6 and 8 and leave that out for 2 rolls? You hit that, you win 77. You don't win $10 to $25, twice. So the most you could possibly win is $50, from the Iron Cross at a minimum bet. But you could win 70 on your first hit, off of 6 and 8. 6 and 8 being the 2 highest probable numbers after the 7. So that's those are the debates that we have with each other, and it just depends. It all depends on if a shooter's being sporadic and they're hitting all the numbers, or if they're being repetitious and hitting one number all day. You got a couple of guys that they hit the 9, they just pound the 9, they pound one number, and then other guys, they hit the ATS, within 8 rolls. I'm a guy like that. I'll hit half the ATS before I roll 10 rolls, but I won't hit a point, but it's nice to hit the half. So, so looking forward to another trip out there, and I think I've got, I've been thinking about it enough that I've got a solid strategy, and, I've got the bankroll, I've got the money management skills, I've got the plays. Now it's all on the discipline. Put my money where my mouth is, and just fucking do it. So doing that, and then I'm planning on not trying to be out there, between probably like 9 and midnight, 8 and midnight, whenever it gets busy. But I did want to poke my head out after probably 12:30 and see how it's dying down, because I think there's an opportunity to play between like 1 and 3, or 1 and 5 for that matter. I could easily get 4 hours in, from 1 o'clock on, if there's like 2 or 3 other people there. Because the one thing I noticed is the people will watch the table, but they don't watch it like they watch the regular craps table. The angles aren't that good, so if you're back away from the table, you really can't see the screen very well. So, but with every other spot closed, it allows people to get up a little bit. So, but they usually take a look and walk away. So I still think that I won't have a lot of people behind me and crowd, and I hope social distancing should go well. Well, I think I have decided I'm going to use 3 different dice sets. I always usually start out with my hardway set, and then if my hardways are hitting, then I'll add to the set. Then I'll probably start throwing a 7 set for come outs. And then if all of that's working, then I'll probably go to a 3V and see if I hit my 6s and 8s. And that's the thing, I think each one of those sets is going to be better at a different spot on the table. Because I think that's what happened. I know what was one of the times that was weird is one of my sets, I think it was the hard way set, from one of those positions was just milking 3s like you wouldn't believe. But it wasn't on the come out because I never used the hard way set on the come out. I used my 7 set on the come out. So hopefully that'll show itself. I love when the horn shows itself because that's a really fun bet. And you can creep up quick. You know, that between come out 7s and hitting the horn, you know, that's like doing a shot. That's like you know, craps is having a beer, having a drink, but hitting your horn bet or you know, hitting your hot bet, that's like doing a shot. There's a thrill, there's a rush, that's a high. So I'm hoping so. Actually, I was looking at the calendar, so today is 12/11. So 12/11 to me sounds like it could be motivated by the horn. It's really cloudy today, so I don't know if it's where the moon is and how all that's going on. I do, for some reason, think that astronomy, astrology, I think dice have an older history than anybody thinks, and that, you know, they go way back, way back, and might be influenced or might have originally been influenced by the stars or something like that. But I love digging up old history and stuff like that, and I'm you know, I come across things, but then I can't verify it, you know, so there's no point in keeping rumors going. So but it's been pretty fun. I enjoy reading a lot about the history of gambling, the history of dice, and actually I brought a couple of books with me. So yeah, so in the evening I'm going to read some of my books instead of going out in the COVID super spreader party. So but I'll have a little update on the couple books that I've got with me, and let you know after the trip on the way home what I was reading about, and then let you guys know about those books, and maybe you guys can get those if you're interested as well. So, well, I think that's going to be it for now. I am just through Beaumont, so I'm about halfway there. I've got another 45 minutes to go. But yeah, my strategy's solid. I know exactly what I want to do. I know when to do it. I know not to force it. I'm going to be here for over 48 hours. So, you know, that's the thing. The strategy now is completely different from the times before, because now my strategy is to maintain for 2 days. You know, I'm not trying to impress or, you know, bet heavy at the beginning to get a good rating or, you know, none of that. I'm playing on a computer. But I'm playing on a computer where people actually throw the dice. So the dice are actually, it's not bubble craps. It's nowhere near bubble craps.
Push the button!
So I'm very excited, and we'll see how excited I am on the way home. So, all right, everybody, take care, wish me luck, and I'll be back. Adios. All right, and welcome back. I'm on my way back home from my weekend trip at the casino. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, It wasn't as crowded as I expected it to be, or what I thought it was going to be. I guess, COVID is really dampening the number of people going out. It was definitely a 50% kind of situation where all the machines, half of them were on, half of them were off. So I felt pretty safe. I felt like I could social distance and keep my distance from people. As far as the craps table goes, I went to Lake Charles, in which case there was the LaBerge Casino and Resort, and then the Golden Nugget Casino and Resort. Went over to the Golden Nugget to take a look, and they had a couple of tables going, but they were basically doing 4 a side, so 8 to a table, and wasn't social distancing enough for me, so I didn't worry about playing over there on Friday. Instead, I went over to LaBerge. LaBerge has 4 real craps tables, the shoot to win craps table with 10 spots, well actually with 5 spots, half of them were not working, or 50% were turned off. And then they also have a bubble craps machine.
Push the button!
That bubble craps machine typically has 8 seats, and then that was running at 50%, so they only had 4 terminals working at the bubble craps machine. But I, for the most part, stayed at the shoot to win table and played all my sessions there. I only had 1 session on Saturday morning at Golden Nugget on a real table, but everything else was on the shoot to win table from either stick left 1 or from straight out at the position that was left of the dealer, straight out of the table. But I think I did okay. I think I ended up basically, I think I'm down $200. So, ended up playing Friday, multiple sessions, and then late into I got there around 4 o'clock to check in on Friday, and then went and played at the shoot to win table, was able to get a spot, and was kind of up and down. And then I think I was up for a couple hours, and then I went and had dinner, and then came back, I think close to like 11:30, midnight, and then I played until about 3:30 in the morning. And I think I ended up losing a couple $100, and then going to bed. Got back to my room close to 4, and then got up to start playing on Saturday, and they did not have the shoot to win table open early, so I walked over to Golden Nugget Saturday morning, and then there was only 2 people at the craps table they had over there, so I bought in for $500 and was at stick left 1, and the guy before me was just killing 6s and 8s, and so I was able to get an $18 6 and 8 to get to be $30 each, and he proceeded to hit like six different 6s and 8s. And then I had an okay roll, not a great roll. I think I ended up rolling like 11 and then hit 1 point. But then basically left right after that, so I was there for a half hour, and I was up 270. So I thought that was a good half hour. And the reason I left was a guy, then there was only 3 people at the table when I got there. Well, then another guy got to be on stick right, and he wasn't wearing a mask. And the guy at the very end of the table, furthest from me, over by the dealer, kind of at the don't hook. He wasn't wearing a mask either. So of the 4 people at the table, 2 of them weren't wearing masks, and they were both, kind of facing me. And I was like, well, I can't think like this. I'm already thinking other things, so I can't focus. So I just up and left. But I was up 270. So I mean, that's fine. So then I walked back over to LeBaire's, and the shoot to win table was open. So I was able to get back over there. And then played, I think for the most part, I played mostly like about an hour and a half, and then I would take a break. And that's kind of the way I did it on Saturday, was play about an hour and a half, and then take a 30-minute break, and then come back. And it was up and down, up and down, up and down. And I wasn't taking good notes yesterday, but today I was perfect. I took notes for all 3 sessions, what my buy-in was, what time it was, how many rolls I had, how many points I hit. And I was excited that I was able to do that. So for each one of my sessions today, I have an accurate record of what I did. So it looks like I might be able to do this going forward. So I'm really, really happy about that. So what was interesting is, of the 3 sessions that I did today, basically there was a 9:30 or a 9 to 10:30. Then there was a 11:30 to 1, and then 2:45 to 5:45. That was the one I just finished. And the middle one was my good one. That every roll I had was over 10, and would hit at least 1 point. So it was my middle session was my best session, but so that was, I made $100 in that middle session. What's funny is I bought in for 600 at 9 a.m. and I cashed out at 6:05, so I only made $5. And then this last session I bought in for 600 and I cashed out for 6:07, so I made $7. So a big $112 I made today. But I think I was down 300 yesterday, so now I'm only down 288. So anyway, not bad for 3 days of heavy gambling. I put in at least 6 hours, 8 hours a day. So, but I'm liking the shoot to win table. So I was right where different dice sets work in different areas that you're shooting from the table. So, my hardway set was doing different things at different spots. The 3V was working everywhere. And then my 7 set wasn't working at all this time from anywhere. So, and I was doing a straight 6. My straight 6 was hitting the horn for a while, but then something got messed up, and then the only thing that was a success for me was the 3V. So I was kind of excited to get a lot of time on the table, getting a feel for what my dice do when they hit that film on a glass top. But let's see. I don't know that there was much going on. It was funny. I mean, not funny, but I mean, no. This time there wasn't anybody crazy. There wasn't any. It looked like there were couples and then small groups of couples, and they were just walking around, looking at stuff. But the shoot to win table, it was pretty easy for me to get on. And it was fun, and I thought I did well. So I didn't play dark as much as I thought I would. It ended up being more positive table, or positive weekend for that matter. Every time I tried to play the don't,
Give yourself to the dark side.
it just I tended to get picked off. Come out sevens weren't happening. I was betting on come out sevens and I was losing. So that wasn't happening. Yeah, the horn, the come out sevens, all that was not working. But the 4 and 10 was happening. That was probably my favorite play on random people, was to put $10 on the 4 and 10 and then have it hit, and then pick up the 5 and 9, and then now you've got 4 bets out there, and then was able to get those paid for, and 5s and 9s were pretty hot for a while today, and so I was making some money, and then had house money out there going forward. So I really enjoyed that play because it worked really well. Didn't really do much on the 6 and 8. Never really got over $30. There were a few rollers that made it over 30, but I was so skittish to have money out there. I mean, I'd get up to $30 on the 6 and 8, and then I'd regress because I was thinking they would come to the end of the roll soon. And I did a lot of that regression of have my money up there and then pull it all back to be minimum bets. The problem with that is you don't win a lot, you win a little, and so I was never able to get over a hump. I just always maintained. I was just always like $50 up or $50 down. It was like that was my whole trip. It felt like I could never make that make that 120 or make that 150 from a play. It was $14, $21. But anyway, I really enjoyed it. I think I will definitely come back out, and I am definitely going to be doing weekdays instead of weekends. Want to thank the L'Auberge Resort and Casino for the Friday and Saturday comp weekend. Thank you very much. It was much appreciated, and I loved getting away. So that was kind of nice, but if I want to do this the right way, I want to go, I think, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and because Tuesday, Wednesday is when the promos overlap. I think the end of the week is Tuesday and the beginning of the week is Wednesday, so if you spend the night, then you can get both of those weekly comps at the same trip. So I think I'm working on that for my next trip out there, which should probably be within a week or two. Again, the time before Christmas is usually going to be pretty dead out there, but now weekdays for sure are going to be completely dead, so I am going to take advantage of that. Let's see. I was rolling on Friday night when I got there, and it probably, well, not when I got there, but this was later in the evening, probably about 1 o'clock in the morning. I was rolling, and I'd been doing really well, and I had thrown about 24 was where I was at, and I had to go to the bathroom. and I kept rolling, and I kept having to go to the bathroom, and kept rolling, and still had to go to the bathroom. It just got worse and worse and worse. Finally, I'm having to stand up and jump around because my bladder is I'm in pain. But I can't stop rolling. I mean, I'm hitting point after point after point, and I'm laying numbers now because I'm trying to roll a 7 because I've got to go to the bathroom. So I pull all my bets down, and I'm just laying the point, and then I'm throwing my 7 set because I have to go to the bathroom and I don't want to play anymore. And I was trying to figure out if I could just pass the dice, but nobody knew the proper the stick person didn't know the proper protocol because nobody's ever done that before. And I was just in a lot of pain and I didn't want to pee my pants. So I ended up rolling 37 rolls and then 7'd out, and then went to the bathroom. But oh my God, did that take forever? I mean, it was like 30 minutes after I had to go to the bathroom, I still couldn't go. And that's the thing. There's a time, it's like I could never leave the table. So I don't know. I would do that again next time. I'm guessing if I just leave the table, they'll have to pass the dice. But I wanted to just take my bets up and then pass the dice, but they said I couldn't do that. So whatever. But yeah, so that was painful. And that happened to me on Friday, which was kind of funny. That's never happened to me before, where I wanted to throw a 7 and I just couldn't. And then I was trying. It kind of happened. That's happened to me a couple times when I play on the don't. When I'm shooting, I've done that before, where I hit like 5 points. But anyway, so that was kind of funny. Painful, but funny. I really wish I would have taken better notes on Friday and Saturday, but I think I was just having fun, and thought I wasn't doing what I said I was going to do. So, but I took better notes today, so I think I can do that going forward because it really wasn't that hard what I did today. So, but I think it's going to be it. There wasn't much strategy other than staying on the positive side and playing sisters. That's kind of all I really did. And it works. Well, it worked sometimes. That was the thing. Nothing worked to really just give me big hits. It was average rolls. Everything. There was like 10 rolls. Everybody was rolling 10, and they'd be lucky if they could hit a point. But if you're hitting 10 rolls, you can still make a little bit of money. And that was the thing. You could make $25-$50 off of a person, but then you have to call it there. And that's something I've been talking about, is have a goal per shooter, and once you hit that goal, then stop. So that was helping me, where I wasn't losing too much per player, but at the same time I wasn't winning too much per player either. So that's where that $50 up, $50 down comes from. So, but so that was kind of all I was really doing for strategy. Wasn't really playing heavy odds on my pass line. Was really just playing sisters. Fours and 10s, 5 and 9s, 6s and 8s, and that was that. So, looking forward to coming back out. Hopefully I'll be able to do that probably in another week, and do a Tuesday, Wednesday, so I can do some double bonus action. So we'll try to turn this around to you real quick, and Look for us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're being a little more active with posting things out there, and we'll see about answering some questions if you guys want to post them. So, thanks so much for your support, and we'll talk to y'all later. Cheers. The Red Eye Gamblers, thank you for your time, and hope you got a little something out of this week's podcast.
Here's to rolling sevens on the come out, and may your sixes and eights always be hard. Cheers.